So in the late 90s, my scent control was basically baking soda. And a lot of the different sprays out there were baking soda. And you can still use it today. It's a good product, 50 cents a box. You just take a sprayer. You want to pour about a tablespoon in there. This is good for your breath. This is good to spray on stuff. It'll leave a little white residue. You can spray it all over your body. It does a couple of different things. It absorbs odor. Plus it changes the pH of things, which prevents odor from bacteria from multiplying as fast. So from there, what I've done is learned that scent control to the max is very important, and a lot of different products work, but you need a lot of different products to do this right. There's absorption, prevention, and elimination. And we want to hit all three of them. We want to hit them hard. And so what I do now is I come out to the field, so I'm not using my washer and dryer that's already contaminated with softeners and soaps, and you almost can never get that soap out. I come out with 50-gallon totes. I wash them real well, inside and out, with laundry detergent. This is very strong stuff, and it works really well, about a cap per. So I run all my clothes through that. Well, first off, wash it inside and out really well. Wash the lid inside and out really well. We're trying to knock the plastic smell out of these. So I go from that, I wash all my clothes in that. I hang them out on a clothesline and let them dry overnight. Or on a hot day like this, they might dry in the same day. Then the next step is, in this tote, after I've done them all, is my activated carbon. So I'll take my t-shirts, and you can see there's a little bit of a dinge to that one on the inside there. And you dip these until the water is gone. It takes about 2 tablespoons of activated carbon. And now everything I have is saturated in fresh activated carbon to absorb odors. That's my underwear, my socks, t-shirts, everything I have. Then I hang this on the line. So, and all these clothes have already had this next process done, but it's BioProtect, and it's from the medical industry. And you can dip clothing in it, and it'll be good for 100 washings. And what it does, it puts a layer on your clothing that ruptures bacteria and prevents it from growing or being alive even. And so the medical industry, they're using it on linen, toilets, doorknobs, that type of thing. And so you can get it in a spray bottle like this, or the concentrated version, which is 4 ounces to the gallon of water. So again, I'm going to run through this. I wash everything in my soap, I hang it and dry it. I dip everything in my activated carbon, then I dry it again. Then I dip it in the BioProtect and dry it again. So now my clothes are ready. I separate all of them in different totes. I put my heavy-duty, expensive hunting gear in one tote, my shirts in another one, insulated underwear in one, with socks, and pants in another. And so when I go to the field for the day, I take my shower in the morning, and I use just regular, bar soap or laundry soap. Of course, this box here I get, this is a Walmart deal, $20. It's got everything in it with your deodorant. So I shower with the soap. Before I step out of the shower, I spray myself down with either baking soda water or one of these other scent eliminating sprays that I have, because people don't cover every inch of their body. Then I want to use the activated carbon dipped towel that I already had ready. I dry off real well with that. That's going to leave a little bit of activated carbon on my skin to where I have you want to be a little bit careful with the house, because activated carbon, it can make a mess in the house. I lay the towel down, I stand on the towel next, I put on 2 pair of socks, 2 pair of pants, and 2 shirts. Now I can walk around my house and not have to worry about when I sit down on a chair, I actually am getting contaminated. When I drive to the property I'm going to hunt, I'm contaminated in my vehicle. But now when I step out, I can pull off my outside layer, spray my arms and hands down again, and then this is my walk-in clothing. So by having a one-piece and zipping it and tucking it in and tying down low, I don't get much air to escape. And it holds in my skin particles and dander that's falling off of me. And I also wear a stocking cap or a hooded sweatshirt depending on the time of the year. So when I get to the base of the tree, I got my backpack that's got all my good hunting gear in it. And so what I'm going to do is take off my walk-in clothes, put those in a trash bag, because I might have possibly sweated on my way in. And I get out my military chemical warfare suits. And I got a couple of different versions, and they come in bags, pressure sealed in here, airtight. They have their thick, quarter-inch layer thick activated carbon. You always want to wash them first so that you'll knock the stiffness out of them, and they're more comfortable to wear, but there's several different versions of them. That is an insulated version for later in the year. This is an uninsulated version, shrink wrap. And so this is basically what it is here. It's real super thin. I wore this last season. I'll wear it for camouflage this year, but not for activated carbon. I can dip it again and be somewhat better than what it is, but these are loaded with fresh activated carbon. You know, my military experience tells me that, you know, in the Marine Corps, if they could have come up with anything better to save us from chemical warfare, they would have done it. And so, for as cheap as you can get these, they really, really help. So again, this in the early part of the year, this is my camouflage that I'm using. Real cheap deal to also have it as activated carbon in it. So then, like every 2 hours, I'm going to spray something in my mouth to knock down breath odor. Vanishing Hunter has been what I've used for the last few years. It's a very good product. I'm having a little trouble finding it right now. You can use your baking soda water, put a little peroxide in it if you want to. Or this is a product I haven't used for hunting yet, but a guy told me last year this here Smart Mouth was something he'd been using, and you can get it at Walmart. And it's supposed to be good for 24 hours on your breath. It's supposed to be the most advanced bacteria killing that you can use. Again, I got to try it. So at the end of the day, when I climb down out of my stand, I'm going to put this back on out of my pack, put all my good hunting gear back in my pack, so I'm not going to wash that at the end of the day. I'm going to wear that for about 3 or 4 hunts. Because washing over and over wears your clothing out. So then I'm going to come back to the vehicle. I'm going to spray everything down with a good product that is going to give you great coverage. But the problem with that, in my opinion, is now we have moisture on it. Bacteria grows on moisture. So what I'm going to do at that point is put it in my Scent Master. My Scent Master has an activated carbon filter in it also. And so when you turn it on, it shoots air through this box, down a tube, and it comes up through this filter in the bottom. I can't remember how many times it circulates per minute, the volume of air here, but over an hour it's thousands and thousands of times the same air circulates up through. So after I do that, my next step personally, I use this ozone generating machine. I turn it on for a half hour. This one's log 6. It cost me $75. Put the hose in the box, turn the machine back on, and now it circulates the ozone through all my clothing. So now I've killed the bacteria because this gets up to 130 degrees. I knock all the moisture out. And again, this probably sounds like I'm overdoing it, but again, most people think that this is impossible to do. And I've been doing it for about 5-6 years now, 100%, and it works great. You'll see a lot more mature deer, and it's not very expensive. I have about $100 invested in all of this for the year, and I can do most all of it right now, get it all packed up. I have about 6 hunts ready. Now, there is some negative to trying to dip clothes in November and December when the weather's bad, so we want to get as much clothing as we can scent-free and ready. And I'm talking about t-shirts and pants and different things so that I can walk in and walk out without having to wear those clothes more than one day. And the last thing I'd like to talk about is what you can put in your totes in off-season or even during the season. And again, it's going to be things that I use as baking soda or this larger activated carbon. And this is well, there's 3 different companies on the market right now doing activated carbon for the hunting industry. The one that is the best situation is Scent Buster Dust out of Michigan. You get the most amount for your price, but activated carbon is pretty much activated carbon. You can get bigger pieces of activated carbon through fish places that sell fish tank filters and water softener companies. And again, after I get everything clean and I'm ready to put it in my boxes, I can spread this all over the bottom, and it's going to absorb smell. And also with that bottle of baking soda in there. I can also get the side of this tote wet and throw that baking soda on it when it's dry, or activated carbon on it, and seal the entire the inside of my tote with it. You know, you cannot do too much when we're talking about mature deer. And when you can get deer walking around you, where most people are hunting on their food plots, and that's what deer are doing, especially does, when you get too many deer on your property, this is going to save your hunt and get big deer in front of you.